You're listening to Screaming Goat Radio with Kevin and Chris, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to the show endorsed by Howard Stern's cousin's babysitter. Screaming Goat Radio. Don't fuck it up, Kevin and Chris. Tweet the guys during the show at SG Radio LA. We know you have a lot of choices on the internet. So from all of us here at Screaming Goat Radio, we just want to say thanks for choosing us over porn.
Oh yeah, you know what that means when you hear those goats screaming. It's another episode of Screaming Goat Radio. I am Chris Labrum, and neither of the gentlemen across from me are Kevin Campbell that I know of. Because
maybe.
Here's the deal. Last week on our show, which I'm sure you guys both watched, and for those of you that didn't, shame on you. One, shame on you. But two, Kevin and I talked about how we've recently made this transition from only radio to video.
Oh, yeah.
And so we had just been dealing with these faces for radio, and so we called a beauty salon up to ask them for some tips about how to improve our appearance, maybe some plastic surgery, etc. So for all I know, one of you two guys could be Kevin Campbell, having come back from this beauty salon, had a brow lift, etc. I don't know. I'm going to put you guys to the test and shorten
some eye tweaking.
Yeah, you got more beautiful but shorter.
Yeah, on purpose.
On purpose. That must have been a money thing. You couldn't afford to keep the height.
Yep. Short is cool now.
Yeah,
hey, this whole show is going to be short.
Short is the new tall.
I'm only bringing 5'8".
Short is the new tall.
That's that Netflix series. It's short is the new tall.
But I digress. Anyway, let me get to who you guys actually are. Co-hosting with me today in place of Kevin, who's off probably sowing his royal oats or something like that in New York, is my main man, Brian Kuzma.
Thank you very much, Chris Labrum. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And our very, very special guest today. Oh, man, I am so excited to have this guy on. I haven't caught up with him in a long, long time. The man, the myth, the legend, Austin Jose. The crowd is already going wild.
Yeah. Austin.
Co-founder of Homeroom Creative.
There it is.
An all-around, sexy, sultry, well-endowed.
All right, there it is.
Renaissance man.
I love it.
You could tell who wrote his intro for him.
Yeah.
He gave that to me. So I
gave that to him.
Really, seriously, I have
through
to.
text, through email, everywhere. I said carrier pigeon. I was like, let me get this.
The first time I met you, and that's how I would describe you.
Of course.
I was trying to hide from this man, and he kept finding me every which way.
I was just like, get me on the show.
Austin
Get me on
Jose.
the show while he was getting groceries. I was back behind him in line.
Get this sexy man on the show.
Yeah, let me get on that.
Well, it's good to have you guys here with me. Instead, I'm
my
sorry
pleasure,
that Kevin apologizes for not being able to be here for this.
Sure,
for this
he does.
episode.
Sure,
yeah, you're right. I'm just trying to cover for his ass. Lazy,
Gallivanting in New York.
Yeah, no, he's actually to be honest, he's over there location scouting for the Screaming Goat Radio calendar, swimsuit calendar for us. So yeah, if you guys are
need help
interested
with
in
that,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, depending how the show
I got
goes,
connections,
if you bring it today, then we might get you in the calendar.
Oh yeah.
Same for you, Brian.
Thank you. Complaining. I'm sure Kevin is complaining all the time. It's $15 a pop for a beer.
Yes.
Oh, missing LA. Missing
it. Well, guys, we got a good show. First, I think we are going to get into some unsung stories. All right. So, Austin, I want you to get in there whenever you want to get in there.
Oh, sure.
This is a staple of Screaming Goat Radio. And basically, unsung stories, we thought, hey, a lot of people and a lot of their podcasts and shows cover all of the mainstream stuff. I mean, they cover Bieber stuff. They cover
Kim Kardashian's
someone's talking about Kim Kardashian's ass right as we
right.
speak. Exactly. But there's these other stories out there across the country, et cetera, that nobody hears about. And they should.
Absolutely.
So we try to cover some of those here on Screaming Goat Radio. So we're going to get into that, and then we're going to focus all of our attention after that on you and everything that you got going on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Let's do it.
A lot of stuff to talk about. We got movies and albums and
MC
your
Jin.
company.
MC Jin.
Exactly.
MC
we got a
Jin.
talent show we're going to talk. I mean, we got the works. So without further ado, let us get into our little unsung stories.
Attention! Kevin and Chris will now take time to honor the stories that fell through the cracks of the internet. It is time for Unsung Stories.
Honest GR. Addie Soldier.
All right, fellas. So this first story here that I want to throw out your way, we have tended to always have, for some reason, every time we do this segment, a story from the state of Florida. Okay? It is just a hotbed.
A hotbed of awesomeness.
Of awesomeness.
The American Down Under.
Of content for Screaming Goat Radio, and this week is no exception. So this gentleman, a Florida man, decided he didn't have enough money, apparently, which, hey, some of us are in dire straits these days. I get it. He went into a hardware store and tried to steal a chainsaw by sticking it in his shorts.
I love the fact that he wore shorts and not
Yeah,
pants.
not-
That's my
not
favorite
pants.
part.
I'm glad that
super
you.
baggy
I'm glad,
pants.
yeah, not pants, not pants. His
Not like
shorts.
cargo pants. Not even like
or
cargo
UFO
pants.
from the 90s.
Yeah,
like he
or
was
the
a
MC Hammer
breakdancer.
pants.
The
or
good
something.
pants, the
No,
good-
no. Shorts and a T-shirt. Okay, he tried to put this in shorts and a T-shirt, but he tried to act normal at first and bought something small, asked for some change, and then on his way out, just near the register, and there's video of this guy, stuck this in his shorts and his T-shirt, and then tried to get away via bicycle.
Oh my God, that's
How
a
do
bold.
you ride a bicycle with a chainsaw
I mean,
in your shorts?
This was a legit chainsaw, not like a little
No,
handsaw.
this is a legitimate
Oh
chainsaw.
my god.
It's like Lil Wayne. I was on a bicycle with a chainsaw in my shorts.
Maybe this was just a stunt for music video. Maybe yes,
Yeah.
or he's trying to get that street cred.
Nobody could cut me off in the street. 'Cause I'll chop him down with my chainsaw.
I like what you're doing there with
There
the
you
with the
go.
cut me off.
Yeah, okay.
Look at you.
I double entendre. I feel you.
I like that. That's smart people stuff.
Sometimes do.
Double
My
entendre.
improv classes are coming in handy at Screaming Goat.
But so one of the other crazy parts of the story is that the police obviously were called and started searching for him, this guy on a bike, okay? And the story says that he ditches the chainsaw in some random parking lot. And the police search, they can't find him. But then the story says that the place was called Treasure Coast Lawn. A Treasure Coast Lawn employee finds him and holds him until police arrived. So the police can't find this guy.
That's
They're
my favorite
looking
part.
everywhere.
Yeah.
He's ditched on a bike. This wasn't next door. Like he's out. He's gone.
Yeah.
And the employee tracks this guy down. So this guy obviously ran out of the store.
Right. He's like Columbo. He's like
Exactly.
He's
picking up
sniffing the
scents, he's
tracks,
sniffing
you know?
trash,
He's like
he's
a
picking up
bloodhound.
grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love it. I think the headline shouldn't be guy stuffs, chainsaw down
Right.
pants. It should be Florida police cannot find guy with shorts with
Minimum
chainsaw in
wage
pants on a bike.
employee finds him by means of Sixth Sense or something.
I love it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Employee now made chief of police.
Sure.
Exactly.
Commissioner.
Well, that, my friends, is a ridiculous crime story. But our next one is a redemption crime story.
Attention!
So our next story here is from Pennsylvania. A northeast Pennsylvanian man who's repeatedly mistaken as the suspect in the killing of a state trooper. Okay? This guy's name is James Tully. He was questioned by police more than a dozen times. Probably about 15 times during a 48-day manhunt. Why? Because he didn't have a car. And so he was forced to walk to and from his work on these long rural roads in Pennsylvania. So the cops just kept stopping this guy because he fit the description.
Because he was poor.
Because he was poor and he fit the description. So obviously there's no communication
Sure.
in this small Pennsylvania town because they keep stopping the same fucking guy. But because of that, somebody started a crowdfunding campaign online and bought this guy a car. Basically raised $25K for this guy for his troubles in order to buy him a car.
Well, that's great.
And they say
that's fantastic.
that crime doesn't pay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this guy should actually probably use part of that money to bail out this other guy who finally was caught. His name was Eric Freen.
Nah, probably not.
Because
he had a car.
Because F that
Rich
guy.
bastard.
Well, no, because he looked like him. If he didn't look like him, he wouldn't have a car right now.
Yeah.
That's just good
What kind of
genetics.
car is it? Do you know?
He bought a 2007 Subaru Outback.
Okay. I mean, hey, that's
Yeah.
last decade, right?
Yeah.
Killing it.
Well, he said he only wanted to spend a little bit on that because he wanted to keep some for maintenance and insurance. So this
That-
guy,
Responsible.
you guys smart.
he's responsible.
Yeah.
All right? Jeez.
more
smart enough to
responsible
buy a
than me.
Subaru, but he's not smart enough to take a different route while he got stopped the first time.
The
and then
first
the second
11
time,
times.
and then the 12th time.
yeah.
He's like, man, what's up with
First
this
5
route?
times, maybe I can understand.
Yeah.
But the subsequent 7 times, I don't know, man. Find a different route.
Put a hoodie on like me. Okay?
But this is like a
Just
rural-
incognito and a hat.
It's a rural Pennsylvania town, right? So
Yeah.
there's probably like 3 roads in the town.
There's like
so
4. Give him credit. It's
Yeah,
4.
there's 4
Four
roads in the
roads.
town. He had to choose one of 4. One of them took him to work. So
That's probably the only one that would probably get him there too, without
Yeah,
having
right,
to
right
go through the
backwoods,
forest, the backwoods,
and then
etc.
have banjos playing and something happens to him.
And then you're gonna deal with some people under the stairs,
Oh my-
hostile.
People
what-
under the
With
you just
chainsaws.
referenced people under the stairs.
under the
Well, I
stairs
did,
with
but it-
chainsaws in their
no,
shorts.
I was
That's
just-
the movie.
No, I was.
Part 7.
I'm glad that you liked that, but it was a mistake on my part. I was thinking of The Hills Have Eyes
Oh, okay.
because it's out, in
Yeah,
the middle
right,
of
right,
nowhere.
right.
But
Yeah,
yes,
that makes sense.
the People Under the Stairs is a great movie.
But
too.
people under the stairs, man, nobody talks about that movie. and
Well,
that
the thing
movie's
is, where do you
fantastic.
think the people the people that the hills have no eyes? Where do they go when they're done? They go to under the stairs. Come on, you guys. It's
I
all
didn't realize
interconnected.
that
It's
was a
all,
prequel.
it's all part of the
all
same franchise.
connected. All connected. Hills, eyes, under the stairs.
Oh, I
same.
feel you.
all of those
Same.
Harry
crazy,
Potter, same thing.
Same.
sort of demented and messed up people from radiation and stuff.
Same.
They're all related.
It's
Super
everything's
terrifying,
related.
but
It's the Marvel
surprisingly
Cinematic-
nice when you get to know them.
It's all part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like all 700 movies that are out there.
Wow, I'm glad you guys are on the show because I had no idea.
Any other questions? Let us know.
Yeah, we know everything apparently.
Okay, well,
We're
let's
both
see.
Kevin.
Yes, you guys.
We are Kevin.
We're both Kevin somehow.
Well, the real Kevin, please stay in your seat.
Oh, boom.
You guys are really him. You're really him.
I'm
That's all it
Kevin's
takes.
pants with a huge
I'm
chainsaw.
the chainsaw.
I'm sorry,
in
Kevin.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
you're the chainsaw
you're
in my
the
pants.
There you go.
You're the chainsaw
Oh,
in my
man.
pants, Austin.
Now this is getting weird. I have family that watches the
it's a
show, and
different
now
show
he's in
now.
your pants, and this is a totally different show. This has gone off the tracks. Let me try to bring this back, okay? Let me try to bring this back to a love story here. A love story.
Attention!
So, yes, I like it. Stay at attention.
Veterans Day.
Veterans
yesterday.
Day,
Come on
see?
now. Let's pay tribute.
So this is a Maine gentleman from Portland, Maine, who essentially was apprehended. Not apprehended. He was. The cops had to. What's the word I'm looking for? They held him. The cops held him on the scene. They didn't arrest him, but they held him on the scene after
That's called
they
annoyed him. They annoyed
they
him.
annoyed him. But they got a call. They got a call about it. He apparently got caught rappelling down the side of a building and broke into a flower shop, quote unquote broke into. He says it was an accident that he broke into this flower shop, and that what he was really trying to do was surprise a friend.
Who
He was
works
su-
at the?
Who works there?
No.
Okay.
He was going to
course
try to
not.
go through the window in his friend's apartment. It was a female, presumably a girl he was interested in.
Okay.
He had the wrong building.
It's awesome. I love
Okay.
him.
So I have so many questions about this.
Yeah.
One, how do you, if you're gonna pull off a stunt where you're rappelling down the side of a building, how do you have the wrong building?
Doesn't matter.
There should be plans.
This should be planned out.
Weeks ahead of time.
Scouting.
Well, think about it. It's like
blueprints or
98% of the time. I mean, if he's planning a little stunt like this, it takes a lot of the repelling action. I mean, it doesn't surprise me he forgot the building. He didn't want to die. Didn't want to kill himself.
Sure.
It's responsible.
So he was just focused on the safety aspects.
Yeah, he's a responsible guy.
He was bouldering for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lovely guy.
Lovely guy. Sure.
The small aspect of the accuracy of what room you're going into, what window you're going to, doesn't matter.
You imagine
as long as he doesn't
Batman was
die.
like
He's focused on being
Batman just
just
focused,
awesome.
You know?
Just-
The Dark
see.
Knight would have been a different movie if you repelled into the wrong window.
Yeah.
I guess it could be. I guess
You have to
I
make
guess.
mistakes sometimes, Chris.
My second question is, do you think that we're going to see more or potentially more crime, more criminals, I should say, using this excuse when they get caught breaking in somewhere? It's like, I was a stunt. I was trying to rappel down into my buddy's place, surprise them.
right.
It's his birthday. Oh my gosh,
Sure,
you wouldn't
it could've
believe
been
it.
anything. It
You're
could've
gonna
been
laugh your ass off. This is so crazy.
I think that's what I think this isn't something that's new that this gentleman started. This is what's been happening for the history of time.
Forever.
I mean, everybody's innocent, you know. It's not mine. Oh, chainsaw.
You'll say-
This isn't my
you'll say
chainsaw.
whatever
My
you
friend
can.
put it in my
The
shorts.
old Austin Powers excuse.
I was wearing pants, and then
not
I
mine,
stole
baby.
got the chainsaw, and then it cut my
I
pant
thought
legs
it
off.
was a free special this week. It was part of the circular I read, and I thought we could just keep those.
It got caught on my pants as I walked
Exactly.
out.
I was I was
It was
borrowing
like a prickly thing, I just stuck to the pants.
I ran out of scissors.
I guess I'm
was
not up on the
borrowing
criminal
it.
world like you guys are.
Get up,
you
get
damn
up.
criminals.
Hey, welcome.
Now I feel bad about inviting you onto this dang show.
You didn't invite
I
us.
gotta-
Actually, the guys that you invited, we
Oh, there we go.
caught at the door. and
If we do have time later, I do have thieving stories personally that I could tell you that are interesting.
We have time right now.
there's cops outside waiting for you
I
right
want
now.
to hear
this is-
thieving.
I mean,
Hey,
this-
you are our special guest. If you've got
Not from
thieving
Florida.
stories,
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I wanna
if
hear
we
about
still
thieving
wanted
stories.
to talk about our repelling homie who
Oh,
mistook the flower shop for his friend's apartment. Which, by the way, did they find out whether or not the friend's apartment, the address, had any similarity whatsoever to the flower shop?
well, that's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. Is I'm hoping because they're not arresting him. They let him go, and he's not gonna get charged with anything. I was hoping they at least confirmed
Did a
his story, did a
next
little
level
work,
bit of research.
went and talked to this friend.
Yeah,
confirmed
yeah.
everything.
If he was one number off, or a misspelling of the street name,
It was
or
probably
something.
7:45. They were starving. They
Right,
needed to go
right,
get
right.
some Philly cheesesteak sandwiches.
This is
Don't
small
talk
town
about Philly
Maine.
cheesesteak.
Yeah, have a
Right
good
now.
day, John. I'll see you tomorrow.
According to small town,
Kennebunkport, Maine. Shout out to Kennebunkport, Maine.
but according to Pennsylvania, small town Pennsylvania, they questioned the same guy 12 times.
Sure.
So obviously,
They're
we
doing
can't
their-
guarantee
it's
that.
My favorite part is that they
diligence,
don't even remember him. They thought they were questioning 12 different people. That's the real story.
There's so many guys that look like this guy.
Maybe they're just all drunk. That's all you can be.
That's what it comes down to,
the,
right?
In the government positions that in
Yeah.
rural Pennsylvania.
No, my last question it was just going to be whether or not you guys have tried to pull off any stunts like that. If we're taking his word for it,
Sure,
If you had tried to pull off
romantic stunts?
romantic or not, because I was going to bring up that one
Yes.
video that's been circulating forever. Not forever, but a lot this last couple of days, where maybe the last week, maybe you've seen it. It's where there's a girl and her boyfriend who are out fishing. But the pre part of the video is their friend goes under the water
Sure,
with the
I saw
Jason
this.
mask
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And they basically set up this dude
Sure.
to where he's reaching down for the line, and the Jason guy comes out of the water, and he screams and freaks out and turns to run and knocks his girl
Knocks
into
his
the water
girlfriend
and keeps
over.
going. And
Yeah.
just keeps going.
Yeah, he just books it.
I love
Books
it.
Basically showing what men are like.
I would say men. I would say
that guy.
that
maybe.
particular
Why? Because
human being.
if that happened, you just stay right there. You jump in at that
Well,
guy and say, "Baby, I got
Yes,
you."
yes.
I mean,
I would
here's-
say
You
I
guys are
would
both
do
little
that.
men. You guys are both little men, just like me.
It's true.
But with big hearts.
Big hearts.
Welcome.
Super big hearts. We're actually.
And by the
also-
way, Chris,
I don't know. I maybe that's true. I don't know.
we're the same size.
No, but the thing is, in that video, if we're thinking about it logically, if I was put in the position of that boyfriend, the dude in the Jason mask, he's lower in height. You have the advantage. What can that guy do you can just kick him in the face. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can, like, I felt like if it were me, the first thing would be like, okay, if this guy comes up and, you know, out of the water, I would just like kick whatever it was in the face and then protect my girl. But this
Because you're
fool-
Asian, you're allowed to say stuff like that. Everybody
I
believes
don't know
it.
if I'm allowed to say that, but I mean,
Playing
I
a
feel
race
like,
card?
yeah. Thank
Mikey,
you
my
for
friend
my
Mikey
benefit.
Koo, growing up, Asian, Korean American, would always tell everybody that he knew how to do karate.
But it's
based
not
on
even-
his
I
own
play
race.
soccer. I could kick something.
He said
No, it's
doesn't
not
mean I'm
even
gonna kick that
karate.
dude.
It's literally, it's just, all you have to do, like, if you saw the video, this
I'd
dude
just be like,
is
oh,
just-
free hockey mask.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
sure.
You know how I do it.
punt
Sure.
this guy
Federal
in the
way.
face, you know, immediately. I think that would be my first thing.
You
I
think
love
so?
it. I believe
think
you.
so, just because whenever my sister, and my sister would love this, whenever my sister used to jump out of like the darkness and scare me when I was younger, I'd get right into position and she almost got knocked in the face. But you know, yeah. So I mean, I think my instinct
Very
is-
sexy.
is to
Very,
first
very sexy.
Hit whatever it is that scares me.
Got it.
And then possibly run after that if that didn't.
Your poor
faze them.
sis, man.
Anybody wants to call in with a date
She's scarred.
of
If-
Austin,
Yeah.
Hey, that's
She
a-
is
with
not
Austin, who
scarred.
will
She is
immediately
hel-
kick his sister in the face.
Yeah.
Call now.
I appreciate you actually reminding me because I haven't even put out our dang phone number yet.
Do it.
So
Oh, true.
if you want to call in for that reason, or if you want to call
Free
in
dates
to
and
just
kicks
talk
to the
to us,
face.
to contribute yourself, call us up 818-570-5805. 818-570-5805. We will put you on the air. You can talk to Austin and Brian, not myself. I won't talk to you. I am above you. I'm
Yeah, he's
above
wearing
you.
the hoodie. You know,
Yeah.
he's blocking out the
Can't-
world.
Exactly.
It is
I'm
a
like
Seahawks hat
Eminem up
under
in
there,
here.
by the
I
way.
only
Just
get
want
one
everybody to know.
chance, one shot,
One shot.
opportunity.
You know, where's your snare? I don't know.
I don't know.
My mama's spaghetti.
Your mama's spaghetti.
Somebody's
the
gotta
best,
turn it
the
up.
best.
Get my headphones.
Spaghetti.
So yeah, call us up if you want to. But hey, now let's get to your thievery
thieving
stories.
story?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
I will say, okay, so when I was young, okay, my brother was always in and out of trouble with the
2 weeks
cops.
ago.
This is 2 weeks ago. But no, he always in and out of trouble, in and out of gangs growing up and everything. So I was sort of following in the footsteps. So it was a bad seed probably until I was like 14.
You ever
I was-
punch him? You ever?
We've gotten physical fights.
Yeah, you've
for
gotten
sure.
physical.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
all
Me
right.
and him had a very tumultuous.
And tickling fights don't count.
They don't count.
Just wanna let-
Tickle
Yeah,
fights.
I'm just
fights,
saying.
Pillow fights.
Call in now.
You know,
He's
yeah, yeah.
exaggerating it. Of
Yeah,
course he
right,
is.
right. Of course. Yeah, yeah.
Stop it, Austin.
And when you mean gangs, you mean
But we were bleeding from the pillow fights, okay?
Yes, yes.
It was real. No, so
Okay, so
but yeah, so you know, I got in trouble a lot with getting in fights and doing some wrong stuff, and I would steal a lot of things, you know, from various businesses that shall remain nameless.
Okay.
But there
I don't know
was-
the statute of limitations here. I don't know if they can come
it's
get
probably,
you anyway.
It's
but
way too.
probably
old now.
better safe than
Right.
sorry.
Remember, Nobody Beats the Wiz. I don't know if it was a thing out here, but
The
over
Wiz, yeah,
yeah,
the-
Wiz, yeah. So man, I used to just with me and my friends, I would get like a grocery list of anything that they wanted, and I'd go in. I had scoped out the place where all the cameras were and everything. And
You
there's a lot
did
of-
your due diligence.
Man,
You didn't have a
14
long building.
friends, for my friends. You know, it was. You know, I thought it was selfless, right?
Yeah.
You know, fuck
Very.
the big corporations.
Very.
Help my friends out with whatever like the new Green Day CD that they wanted. or
Hey,
whatever.
I'm in the 98% with you, man.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
Corporate greed got to go down.
So there's this flea market. But yeah, there's a flea
Fol-
market.
follows up with a flea bar.
Flea market follows up
the
with
flea
the flea
market,
market. Over in the town in Jersey where I grew up. And I was in there, and I was always in there because my bus stop from school, from elementary school and even in high school, I had to get dropped off where this flea market was, and I'd walk like a mile and a half home, which was actually fine because, you know, I would buy some music at the flea market, and
Yeah.
I'd listen to it on the way home on like the Walkman or the Discman or whatever.
Your Sony Walkman.
The
And
Sony-
flea markets are
Sony-
so expensive, so I know why you would steal from them.
right. So there was just one of these like shops that just sold CDs or whatever, and I went in there, and it was maybe, I guess, 98 or something, and you know, I was in my career of stealing things already, so I was far into it.
You were
so
well established.
I was well established. You know,
8
I
years
had a
old.
name. I had a
You're
name
known.
for
Sister
myself,
Shoes.
You know,
known on the streets.
Yeah.
What was your street name?
my street. No, there was no street name. It was It was Ashley's brother, which it really
Ashley's
was.
brother?
Yeah, because my older brother, like everybody knew my older brother.
Ah, so
and
you
I
were-
was
yeah.
like the tag. I was just like the little kid that just followed him around.
Yep.
And so I stole maybe 11 or 12 CDs, and all I did was, like, it was baggy clothes back then. I had baggy clothes. I had put it underneath my jacket, and I just held it in there. And it was so baggy, it just looked like it was like a puff at the bottom of my jacket.
Which was the style.
And that was the style. So,
So-
it looked legit. So,
Like the guy from Florida with chainsaw. Same thing.
It was exactly that, except I was
get it.
smart enough to wear larger clothing instead of things that bared my skin. But I stole all this stuff, and, I was so cocky and confident at this point because I'd been stealing so many things, and I'm just, like, rifling through the CDs, and I'm like, this one might be good, I'm just looking around. I put more underneath it, and cocky enough that after I'd done my shopping, I had gone around outside of this vendor booth, gone around the corner, crouched down to tie my shoe. I was like, typically you would just, once you get your stuff, you just bolt until you can't get caught anymore. But I was just like, I got everything. They don't know it. They're none the wiser. But I just turned the corner. I'm maybe 10 feet away from the exit of this vendor.
Yeah.
And I crouch down. I'm tying my shoes. The guy comes out, and he's just like, you stole stuff, like, come over here, like, give me back all my shit. And I'm just like,
How
okay.
dare him?
Yeah, and I'm just like, and I'm
Doing his job.
doing his
Jeez.
job, and I'm this like snarky little whatever 12-year-old, and I'm just like, I didn't steal anything, like, I got nothing on me, get out of here. And I get up because I'm about to just leave, but I get up, and the shifting around of the CDs when I bent down to tie my shoe, it was unfortunate. So I got up, and all of it fell out, and I'm just like,
Was there a
ooh.
shopping cart? The shopping cart fell out?
Right, yeah, everything fell out. The chainsaw fell out.
Oh, amazing.
The dude who stole the chainsaw also fell out of my jacket.
You stole that
Kodak-
guy
I stole
too?
that guy. I didn't care. I
Assistant
stole the
manager
store.
fell out.
Right,
God,
right.
you are a bad
Some
little
guy
kid, man.
repelled from my jacket.
Stealing employees.
He was like, I thought his jacket was a flower shop, but like, so like everything fell out, and then and I was like, gotta book it, but he caught me by like the collar, like a cartoon.
You didn't have anything else on you. You were just trying to get away. Everything had fallen out.
Yeah, everything
Now
fell
you're just
out.
now trying to get gone.
Yeah,
Note to self: don't wear a collar when stealing.
Yeah. It
You
got
would've
me by
been-
the collar.
you would've been
I would've
gone.
been good if I had like maybe a
Something
turtle,
else.
like a V-neck,
Just a deep V.
just like a deep
A
V,
deep V.
super deep V
You
that
know, like
just
you wear these days.
tuxedo.
yeah,
anything.
The V that goes all
All
the way down to the crotch. it's just a vest. It's so deep. It's a vest.
It goes below the crotch,
It's-
so you
yeah.
can see your crotch.
Yeah, there's a V in
How
my
badass
pants
would
too.
that be?
Yeah. So he catches me, brings me back to the store. He's like, "All right, you stay right here." He's got me by my neck, and he's like, "I'm calling the cops." He's on his like huge flip phone, whatever it was in that era, and I'm just like begging him, because I had already at this point gotten in trouble previously, and I didn't want to get caught again. And my mom, obviously, she's already pissed at this point, like through all the stupid stuff that we were doing, and I didn't want to piss her off again. So I'm like begging him, right? And I'm like, what if I pay you? What if I pay you everything right now? I had no money whatsoever. So he's like, give me the money and give me more money, basically. And I don't.
Are you in Mexico?
And I have no money.
Whoa,
It's a
whoa,
flea
whoa,
market.
whoa!
It's a flea market.
It's more
right?
like Pennsylvania.
It's
I'm just
northeast
saying.
Pennsylvania.
You gotta just pay these. Have
So-
you ever been arrested in Mexico?
I haven't.
Hopefully
luckily.
not
yet.
I've taken people out of jail in Mexico,
Next
but that's a
weekend
different story.
We're doing it though.
Are you going to Mexico next weekend?
No, but we
Oh,
can.
but let's do it then.
Let's
I
do
say
it.
we go.
Let's do
And then
it.
we'll come back. We'll do another show, and then all
and
of our crazy stories.
It'll probably be the
If
best
we
show
get
we've
back.
ever done. If we make it
get
back.
we have less organs than we went there with. But
You can lead us though. You're the crime lord.
Yeah, but
out
that's
of all
that's
of
a new
us.
diet. That's
The
a
guy
new
who
diet.
steals-
From what I'm getting
That's
here.
stealing in the beginning rap CDs or something. That's pretty much what I stole back then.
Well,
So
okay, finish your story.
So basically what happened was I'm begging him. I have no money, and he's like, "Well, fine, pay me, and I won't call the cops, or I'll hang up or whatever. I have no money." But there's a couple kids, like a couple teenagers, older teens.
Mm-hmm.
They were late teens. They had a car, right? And so I didn't know this until afterwards. But their ears are perking up, and I turn to them. They're the only ones in this only other people in the vendor's shop, and I'm just like, "Do you guys got money? I will get you more money than the money that you pay this fella." Right?
I like it.
And
You're 14.
yeah, I was probably younger. I was maybe 13.
I mean, it sounds
Man.
like you should have just gone into business.
Yeah, you should have just
didn't need to be
jumped
stealing
into your
things.
doctorate.
I mean, but I had
Listen,
nothing
let
to
me
base it
talk
off.
to
I
you.
had no
Step into my
money to
office.
barter with, so I'm just bartering with like credit.
potential
Potential
job
money,
opportunities
right?
for this individual.
Exactly. So
I love
so I'm talking to these kids. It's like, just if you guys got the money, because they're trying to buy some CDs or whatever. I'm like, if you guys got the money, pay this guy. I'll get you more money. Just deal with this first, and then I'll get you more money. And they, the power of persuasion or whatever I had back then, they agreed. They paid this fella off. No cops were called. But now these kids got me, and they're older and they're bigger than me and everything. So now they got me by the,
You can say it.
figurative collar.
You can say it.
They got me
Say
by
it.
the balls.
Say
Yes.
it. But even say it better than that.
Yeah.
Do something more than that.
More than that?
Yeah.
Like by the
Balls with
what,
hair.
By the balls with
Something
hair.
crazy.
And the shaft. And
Oh!
then they tied the shaft around their neck, and they were like, it's their leash. I don't know what it is.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So,
So we're talking about Scream
You,
and Goat.
you two together. I can't have you two together
this is a
anymore.
new show. This is such a new show for him. He's like, I'm
we
not
were
used to
we
this.
were a family-oriented, respectable show
Sure,
before I
we're-
had you two guys on
Yeah,
here.
we're talking about wholesome politics in America and
Yeah.
Ford
America.
pickup trucks and and all that.
America.
Not anymore. So so these kids got me by the figurative collar, and then they take me to their car because I'm just like, okay, my grandmother lives nearby. Let's go to my grandmother's house. I'll beg my grandmother.
Now
for
you're gonna get your
money.
grandma involved.
I had to get somebody.
grandma
I had
involved?
no money, right? And it wasn't gonna be my mom. My mom's gonna love this, by the way. But so I go to so they take me to my grandmother's house, who is basically like 3 blocks away. And I go in there, and I get some money from her. So I got the money to pay off these guys. So I go back. They get me in the car, and we're doing, I'm giving them the money and everything. They decide, they lock the doors, and then they grab me again, and they're like, this is a nice jacket. And I was like, you son
like the
of
Pulp Fiction. This is Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so
You've seen that movie. You know what happens next.
No, I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
shut your face.
Oh, my God.
God, you guys are.
Ladies and
gullible. You're a
gentlemen,
bunch of
tonight is
idiots.
a new
come on,
show.
come on.
Got to kick you off your own show for that.
Yeah, you scared
and
the hell out of
rightly
me.
so. Rightly so. You should
Rightly
have
so.
kicked me.
Thank you.
If it were true.
I would have kicked myself out.
Yeah,
Had I not
and then
seen
we're
that
just
movie.
we're just you and me.
Chris is no longer on the show because he's never seen Pulp Fiction.
Kevin comes back. He's like, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't know. We're the new host now."
You guys would have to explain it to him.
Right.
He gets angry.
It's self-explanatory.
Hangry, maybe.
Hangry. So now, they're working you now.
They're working.
They're
me now.
working you.
So they're like, "Okay, we want the CDs." Actually, no. They actually cherry picked the CDs because there were some awful CDs that I got at the time. I don't even remember what they were.
That's what I was going to ask
one-
you.
one
I
of
was going
the-
to try to see
no.
what you were stealing because I love me some hip hop back in the day. I mean, still to this day.
Hillary
But some
Duff.
of those old CDs.
like,
I
I'm-
do listen to a little Hillary these days.
Yeah, a little bit of the Hillary. These
I'm not going to
days.
steal it, but
Yeah.
I'll download
maybe
it for free.
digitally.
I'll
stealing.
digitally steal
Yeah,
it.
right. I don't remember. I do remember one of them was the Rap Volume 1, like in the beginning. I remember that was one of them.
Like a compilation thing.
It was a
where-
compilation
yes.
one. And I remember because I always just hated myself for this, but it was like the Will Smith album from that
The one with
or whatever.
that had all those hits on it. You're talking about Parents Just Don't Understand.
No,
and-
no, the bad one. The one that
Ah.
came 10 years later when he wasn't Grammy nominated. And that
So we're
Nas-
talking like Miami.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
on there.
What was that one?
Welcome to
Oh,
Miami.
like
Genius.
Bienvenidos.
Big Willie style.
Big Willie
style.
Big Willie
Yes.
style. That was
Dun,
one
dun,
of them.
dun, dun.
And then I had like 10 other CDs, but they cherry picked. They got all the good ones. Then they left me with the bullshit.
Yeah.
And then they took my jacket, and then they were like, "Oh, that's a nice bag, and those are nice shoes." So they got my jacket, my bag, and my shoes. And the good CDs, and they left me.
I hope
so-
somebody's at home right now
so-
writing this down for a short
so I-
film because I love it.
So I basically had like my shirt, my pants, and like 5 horrible CDs. And then I'd go back into my grandmother's place and like try to convince her that everything was like copacetic and cool. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here
Oh
we go.
my god. You know,
Nah,
Who knew that Will Smith was walking in the room?
what was the one before this one?
This is getting jiggy with
This
it.
guy Jiggy with.
Yeah.
Nas wrote this.
Nas wrote this?
Nas Ghost wrote this.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding you. Look this up. Nas Ghost wrote this song.
This one right here.
This particular song. I think it was the only one on the album, but he ghost wrote this.
I wonder if he had to when he was ghostwriting this thing. I can't be me. I can't write a Nas song. I gotta think like I'm Will Smith and
No.
write for Will
You just
Smith.
put a sheet on it.
Yeah.
You put a sheet on, cut 2 holes in the eyes, and bam, got
Bam.
Jiggy was born. That's how you do it. Ghostwriting, baby. Ghostwriting.
super ghost writing.
Super ghost writing. You don't know
Casper
Nas
writing.
is. That's how he does it.
This is very embarrassing because that makes
'Cause it's true.
100% sense. But I was not there with you guys.
I saw you.
I was like, is he talking about like the KKK? Is he talking about like
Oh,
putting
man.
a white sheet
Where's
on,
your head out?
cutting
Where's
holes out
your
of the
head
eyes? Well, I was just watching
Ghost writing, baby.
Django Unchained?
Django Unchained on HBO or whatever the other 2 weeks ago. So
I
it's
was
kind of
gonna
in my
say Tango
head.
and Cash.
No, Django
Same
Unchained.
thing.
Oh man, Django and Cash.
Django.
Somebody's
It's coming
gotta
out.
make that movie.
It's coming out soon.
Yo, Django
That's
and Cash.
right,
Are you
ladies and
kidding
gentlemen,
me? I would
Django
watch
and
that.
Cash.
Terry Hatcher, Sylvester.
Who would you pick,
Stallone,
though?
Kurt Russell.
I'd go Kurt Russell and
Kurt Russell
and Jamie Foxx.
yeah, sure. That makes sense.
And then
That
I'd make a
makes sense.
villain out of Sylvester.
Yeah,
You would.
do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We have the means, right?
Has he ever played the villain?
Kurt Russell?
No.
No.
Sylvester
Stallone.
He always seems to be the hero, right?
No, I
I'm
don't.
trying to think.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't know if he's ever played
in-
the
in a-
bad guy.
Yes, he has.
Everybody-
Yes, he has.
Everybody's
What?
a villain.
Rambo 1. In a sense, he
Yeah,
was
okay, well,
he
in a
was
s-
the villain.
Sure.
And then
wanna get
and then
political.
Brian
Right.
Donahue
Donahue.
Yeah.
was
Yes.
became the but yeah
Sure.
with that local in the local.
I'll give you a
the lo-
half point.
Okay, I'm just
I'll give you a half
saying.
point for that.
But
'cause he was
typically,
not
always the
good.
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
hey, so has this stopped for you? This crime wave?
Oh,
This is-
absolutely.
no, this
I
is
mean,
all in the past.
It was all in the past. I think
All
around
right.
14, I just did a 180 and I don't know.
Well, hey, let's.
I wish you would just stand up and you just have like a shot.
Except
like,
for fights, me and my friend Julie over here, we had a
you guys got
Julie.
to fight her. You beat her up. Or?
No, I beat her up. Yeah. No, oh God, no. Her dad's gonna come like out of Pennsylvania and beat the hell out of me or wherever it was.
Pennsylvania, man. I'm
no,
telling
no,
you, this is
upstate
that's
New
the
York,
new hood.
Upstate New York.
That's
it's upstate
it.
New York. No, Rochester, right? Yeah, there you go.
Well, hey, I hate to cut this off, you guys, but we got to move on here. We got to get on to what you came here for, my friend. So if you're just joining us in any way, shape, or form, listening to us, watching us, we got Austin Jose in the building here at Screaming Goat Radio. He is co-founder of Homeroom Creative, an all-around Renaissance man.
Again, I sent this to him.
I
by
left
carrier
out the
pigeon.
well-endowed,
Super sexy, super smart.
sexy, super
Yeah.
smart,
I have
super
a
well-endowed.
chainsaw. Yes, indeed.
He's here with us, and you got a lot going on that I want to get to, and so let's dive right into it. First, just tell me about your company, co-founding Homeroom Creative. I love the shtick that you guys got going on. I mean, Homeroom Creative, and so I could also be calling you senior vice president, right? From
Yeah,
what
you
I
call me
saw,
class president.
Class
yeah,
president.
Some class president.
So how did this all come about?
So for a lot of years, I've been doing things like film and music and event coordinating, stage managing, and I would do that. I would have a day job, and I'd also do these things on the side. And this is ever since I moved out here to LA from Jersey. And it's been about probably 8 years now or something. But my last day job, end of last year, I just left them because the ship was sinking, and I was just like,
Smart.
I gotta get out of here. So
Did you contribute to the sinking ship?
no,
you cut the
no.
hole,
I,
and that
I only contributed to trying to save and salvage the
okay.
ship.
Oh, right.
But I knew it was defeated. So I'd left, and I could have at that point either taken on another day job or something and just pay the bills with it and everything, or I could have just taken the chance and start this company up and just try to do 24/7 all this stuff I'd been doing on the side.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to do the latter. And for a couple of months, because it was the holiday season, I was just sort of ruminating over things, and there wasn't much. People didn't want to invest in projects around then. And I got my friend Rob Beaslin. I just started talking to him, and I was just like, do you want to go in on this with me? You know, be my business partner on this? Because he's sort of also a Renaissance man. He can do anything. We have the same mentality as far as pretty much everything. And I got along with him so well that I just knew, especially when we're drunk, because like you know who your real friends are.
We can all do stuff.
when
We
you're
can
drunk.
all do anything when we're drunk.
Yeah, but when you're drunk, you know your real friends,
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
Like
Yeah.
I can't.
I
I
feel
can't.
like.
You just twerk.
When I'm drunk,
Amazing. You guys don't know,
Yeah.
but Chris
An amazing
Labrum
twerker?
is
I twerk.
the one. I would put him in a
That's
twerking
the only
But I feel like
thing I can
every time I've hung out with Chris, we'd also been drunk, or we'd been at some place where we were at least drinking.
Yes, but that. I mean, it's only been like twice. It's not. It's twice. It's not like
His
I,
mom's listening.
It's not
That's
like I
why he's
drink a
saying
lot
that.
or doing
Yeah,
like
he's saying that.
or-
He's
yeah,
saying
His
that
mom's
now.
listening right now. That's why he's saying that.
But
Hi,
if there's
Mom.
any pretty ladies listening, let's go have a drink.
Yeah, let's get crunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we got on this, went into this together, and by February, that's when we actually sort of got started. February this year, and just because of sort of our networks and our relationships that we've forged over the years,
Yeah.
it just took off sort of immediately, and
Yeah.
we were already into work, and we were just doing crazy things.
You guys do everything.
Yeah, we do
everything
We
over
do
there.
a lot of.
I went to your
everything.
website and it literally listed everything
It's
that
everything,
you could possibly
and you know that's
list.
not even updated. It hasn't been updated in a while.
have more.
and we have just
amazing.
more. We just have more. So it's been nutty, and it's stressful, but just got to make it work. I mean, it's the first year, right?
Yeah.
We're still well within the first year, and I'm sure it's just going to be as stressful.
Well, I would
for the
hate. I
years
would hate
come,
to ask what you would do, what you would say, what advice you would give for us here at Screaming Goat Radio, considering you guys do everything in terms of your consultation and whatever, in terms of graphic design and this, that, and the other. I'm sure, just like Kevin and I's faces, we could probably use an overhaul here at Screaming Goat Radio. So I might talk to you, off air,
Yeah, sure,
behind closed doors,
No,
and
I think
see
this
what
is
we could
great.
work
I think
out.
this
You know what
is-
I'm saying?
I think this is a great operation. I'm not gonna lie. We had parking spots ready for us.
Yeah.
I've been on a lot of other podcasts, and it's trouble with parking.
We had a guy that probably was he out there opening the door for you, gave
No,
you like
no.
champagne on your way in. That he wasn't out there.
He wasn't out there, but the red carpet
Oh,
was
man.
there. The
Okay,
velvet
good.
ropes were there.
Good.
The lights were up.
Yeah.
Good.
Pellegrino was served to us.
I only have to fire one person now. That's good.
Sure.
That's good.
Yeah, so I mean that's sort of where we're at. We're just doing a lot of things, and we're just maybe 10 months in or something.
Okay. So, what are? Well, tell me about Recess. Actually, tell me about the Recess part of your
Recess, yeah.
company.
Recess is
Playing along with the whole homeroom thing, the class president.
Yeah,
you got
we
Recess.
that. At some point, we also will have a podcast. We'll also need you to come on there. But it's called.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, it's
It's
gonna
called Goat Screaming Radio.
be Goat Screaming Radio.
Yeah. Hey, that's not exactly what ours is called. I can't sue him.
Sure,
I can't
sure.
sue him.
Can't sue him.
Plus, I don't have the copyright. Don't. God damn.
Oh, you see,
I said
you
it.
let it out.
Just
You
kidding.
let
I
it
do.
out.
I do.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, but it's gonna be called the After School Hangout, actually, to play in with the whole
I like it.
academic
Yeah,
theme
yeah.
and everything. I'm just a very nostalgic person.
Yeah.
So the whole academic thing just really.
Are you
played
guys
well.
hiring? Do you need like a hall monitor or like
Yeah,
the morning
yeah, we
announcements
do.
guy or something like that?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You could be that guy.
I could be that guy.
You could be the hall pass guy.
Hall pass guy.
Hall pass. What was like the official name for the hall pass guy?
I think it's like hall monitor, right?
yeah, hall monitor,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
yeah.
hall monitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you guys come up with like the after school smoking,
The smoke, the
you
behind,
know what?
behind the dumpster.
I mean, I want to be
corner.
involved in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Anything else,
We
I
could
don't,
get
I'm done with school.
immediately involved in
Yeah,
that after
nice.
this show.
Or
So how are
detention.
you guys? How are you involved in? You had mentioned some of these projects to me. There's the Blood Ransom movie.
Sure.
What's the other? Run the Tide
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, right.
Are you guys are involved in that some sort of way?
Yeah. So, Run the Tide. Oh, it's great. So I'm going to talk about these a little bit. But Run the Tide, I'm super proud of my friends Soham Mehta and Rajiv. They wrote and directed this movie. And they were actually, I was part of this initiative, this screenplay initiative called Project Catalyst last year. And out of, I don't know how many screenplays, like 100 screenplays, theirs was chosen. The screenplay that they had written, just because it was just like such a fantastic screenplay. And what they won was like their 20-minute pitches to a whole bunch of executives and producers from different networks and different distribution companies and financing companies and everything. They eventually, through a whole bunch of stuff, got in touch with Pilar Savone, who is Quentin Tarantino's producer.
Okay.
Produced everything, I think, from Jackie Brown onwards. Even up till
So pretty much everything.
Django Unchained, Chained and everything, and she does a whole bunch of her stuff too. She's
And
been,
hopefully
like,
Django and Cash.
yeah, Django and Cash. Oh man, I got to bring that up.
Bring
to
that
her,
up to her.
right?
Please do.
But you got to give him credit and
No, it's gonna. It
Residuals,
started
you
here.
guys get-
It
yeah.
started here.
Yeah.
Both of you get a little
Points on the
dime
back
for it.
Thanks.
man.
All
Yeah.
right. Nice.
Yeah.
We can make that Mexico trip really happen then,
Oh
huh?
my god, and we get to keep our organs.
Yes.
I think if we have the money. So
You're
yeah,
still going to ruin your liver, but
but oh, there you go.
Yeah.
As long as we go
Nice.
to TJ, right?
yeah.
So we so they got in touch each other, and she produced this movie and everything. Basically, as far as homeroom's concerned, from that point, just being a supporter from the initial get-go is I storyboarded the whole movie. We did still photography, and I've just been giving feedback on all of the different edits that he's been doing.
Yeah.
Soham's been doing with his editor. And it's just an incredibly fantastic movie. And it's a stellar cast, actually. We have Taylor Lautner starring in it.
Oh, nice.
And he's doing his...
Him or his abs?
His all of it.
Both of
Got
them?
all of
Oh,
it.
all- okay.
All 20 of his abs.
Well, I'm in.
And his arms
I'm
and
in.
everything.
I'm going to go see it.
And, yeah, I mean, he's really trying to make his turn as a serious,
Sure.
dramatic actor.
Not the teeny bopper style.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And personally, I was a little worried about it, but after having seen the last edits, he kills it. At the very least, he's gonna get critical nods.
Oh, nice.
Just as far as just like
Good for him.
Yeah, no, he killed it, and the rest of the cast killed it.
When does that come out? Just so people know,
So I'm
or where they can see it first potentially.
right. I believe, and don't quote me on this, because everything is sort of up in the air right now about what the journey is going to be like. But we're hoping for the South by Southwest, the Sundance circuit, and
Yeah.
go through the festivals and everything. And if there's a theatrical release at some point, we hope for that. But that's all to be determined, and
Okay.
that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for for word on that, because
Okay.
once that goes down, for sure, Homeroom's gonna want to help promote, market, and do anything that we can.
Hey, and
to
let
get the
us know
movie
too.
out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. We'll
absolutely. It's gonna
put it
be
out there and let people know.
And that's for Run the Tide, correct?
Run the Tide, correct? And just stellar cast, and just so incredible. I can't even stop. Like, the thing is, I knew everything about that project from the initial screenplay, and I storyboarded the whole movie with Soham, the director, and seeing the movie come to life, shot by John T. Connor. His name's John Connor, not of Terminator fame,
But there's the T's in there.
but the T is in there.
Don't forget the T, baby.
Most amazing DP. Everybody's in his phone, like Steven Spielberg, and it's just everybody. He's just like crazy. He's worked with everybody. But
We got about like 10 minutes left here. I just want to get on to
sure.
either Blood Ransom
Sure.
as well, and or we still got to talk about this talent show
yeah, we definitely got to talk about collaboration.
collaboration star.
So basically, yeah, it's an incredible movie, and at some point next year, there will be word about it and what the journey is going to be for that. So just look out for that stuff. So it'll be good.
Absolutely.
Run the Tide.
Run the Tide. As far as Blood Ransom, that's a basically it's a co-production sort of movie, I believe, Philippines and America and
Okay.
everything, and it's starring I guess what you could consider like the Jennifer Lawrence of the Philippines, Ann Curtis. Super awesome lady. We did some videos with her at the YouTube Space a few weeks ago to help market the movie.
She's super. I'll
She
tell you
is
that much.
Super duper.
She's super duper. I don't know her
You don't know her?
But I've
Did you-
seen
did you-
pictures.
Yeah. Oh, she's fantastic.
because
looking
I
lady.
researched the movie a little bit, and I want to know who Ann Curtis is.
She is a fantastic looking lady. She's originally from Australia, so she has the Aussie accent.
Super sexy.
And it's incredible. She's great. Wonderful. So she stars in this movie
Okay.
along with this guy Alex, and also Darian Bosco and Dion Bosco.
Ah, the Bosco brothers.
The Bosco brothers. Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know them. I work very closely with like Dante and the rest of them. We have a whole bunch of other things that we've been working on for a lot of years. I've just been part of that family for a long time. Francis Stellator directed and wrote this movie. We just had a small theatrical run. We had our premiere at the ArcLight for the American premiere, and we were in the theaters maybe like 2 weeks or something like that. But we are going to do another push theatrically in a couple of months so we
Okay.
can properly market it in America. I'm hoping to try to market it out to the Fangoria communities or the horror communities, get
Sure.
them out there and fill the seats there. So that's going to happen within a couple of months, so absolutely stay tuned for that. It's a vampire movie. It's basically a vampire movie, but they do a little, they change it up a little bit, so we hope that there's some new things.
Well, I'm not necessarily on the vampire bandwagon, but I will see it for Ann Curtis.
There you
okay?
go.
I will see
I
it.
am
There-
on the vampire
there's-
bandwagon, and I will see it as well.
Yeah, no, she if you're a fan of Ann Curtis, she's doing something very different because it's a genre movie, and she's there's quite sexy scenes
Oh,
in the
nice.
movie.
I
will
do like
say.
that.
Well, the last few minutes here, let's talk about Collaboration Star really quick because this is
Absolutely.
interesting. This is like a
It's huge.
America's Got Talent type of
It
thing, right? I
is.
mean, is it all music or is it all sorts of
It's
type
all
of acts?
sorts of entertainment.
It's happening this Saturday in
absolutely.
LA here, the 15th, I believe is Saturday,
at
right?
the Wilshire Ebell Theater. It's
Wilshire
the
Ebell Theater.
15th Saturday. I believe the show starts at 7, goes on till 10. There's an after party, red carpets before that with a meet and greet from
And
like,
little people like me, can I get into the VIP after party and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I buy a ticket or whatever. I mean,
No,
am I able
buy
to?
a ticket
Yeah.
and you're in. But if you really want to go, I'll just get you in there, man.
Okay, hey, let's do it.
Absolutely. No, let's do it. Let's party it up because the parties are crazy. So for they basically Collaboration is a nonprofit spelt with a K, so collaboration.org. Let's
That's
plug
right.
That.
Let's be clear about that. Collaboration.org, but spelled with a K.
It's with a K because originally it started out just like a Korean sort of talent show, and I think maybe 2008 it became API, which is just like all Asian American and Pacific Islander and everything. And
Sure.
it was started by Paul PK Kim. That's my homie. He's a comedian. You can catch him at Laugh Factory all the time, so be sure to check his stuff out. But it was basically just the idea that a lot of Asian American or Pacific Islander artists, it's harder to sell us. So,
Sure.
record labels and film companies, it's gotten better in the last couple of years, but when he started it, it was unheard of to see any of us in the mainstream.
Yeah.
It was just a super hard sell because nobody believed that people wanted to see like Asians on screen, unless it was like, the stereotypical,
Sure.
like whatever, like it
Well,
was
we-
martial
we
arts.
Like what I was
believe-
talking
we-
about earlier. Yes.
We believe
Right,
that here at Screaming Goat Radio, so
Absolutely.
we're all for it.
Yeah, so it spawned from that sort of idea, and so over the years it's just been this showcase, and we're in 14 cities now, so 14 different cities have these shows all year round where they scout talent and there's auditions and everybody goes against each other in this showcase.
So they
to
compete
have a
there.
winner. They compete there.
To then come for the big
Exactly.
one.
So the Collaboration Star Show, which is happening this Saturday, is basically 6 of the artists who were winners in these other cities this past year, and through like voting and other things, they've been chosen to now come out here to compete against each other. So it's
Got
like
it.
the best of the cities are coming together to compete against each
Best of
other.
the best.
Best of the best.
Another great movie.
Oh, a great series.
Great series.
Great series of movies. And they
Best
come
of the best is one of the best.
right.
really
Shout out to the Ree brothers.
Right.
Yeah. Shout out to
and
Julia
Eric Roberts.
Yeah, Eric
Roberts. Shout out to Eric.
who hurt his shoulder
Shout out to James
in that
Earl
first
Jones.
one. Yo,
Shout out to
Yeah,
James Earl
big-
Jones in the first one.
Yes.
That's all. That's a
I want to
stellar
cry
cast.
right now.
Too many
Man.
shout outs. Too many shout outs. Okay.
Okay, so everybody gets together for this one, and it's incredible. We have artists who are signed to labels and everything who are doing, they're headlining and special guesting and performing and everything. We have Run River North. They're getting a lot of play around here, and it's wonderful. Dan, aka Dan. Alpha, who is also my housemate, and she's awesome. She's amazing. So definitely check her
Alpha,
out.
okay.
Alpha, ALFA.
ALFA.
Not like Alpha Omega.
Like
or whatever.
Alf.
Like Alf and then
Nice.
and yeah, just a lot of great people, a lot of great judges and everything. It's just always a good time. I used to be heavily involved. I used to direct, stage manage all of the LA shows for a bunch of years, which is actually why I had such like a huge network to get Homeroom started.
Yeah.
That was a huge part of it. So I owe Collaboration a ton, and so if you can get more butts in the seats this Saturday,
Hey, yeah,
whatever I
people can
do
go
to
out there.
do
They can
that.
buy tickets. You don't have to do
Absolutely.
all the whole VIP thing, but you can just get a general admission ticket, right?
Yeah,
Something like that, and go
absolutely,
check out the show.
And
should be a good thing.
It's
Should be
gonna
fun.
Be a great thing.
Should
It's
be
gonna
fun.
be a great thing. There's at least I think 9 musical acts. Cabo Modern, they're dancing, and they're a huge dance group.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
it's just a lot of great stuff, and then afterwards, just
Huge is an understatement. They got a lot of members.
They do. They have a huge membership. But
I want to be a member now. I want to see if I can be a member.
We'll be unofficial members. We'll just, as long as we say we're unofficial members, we're just part of them.
Well, hey man, I am sorry that we gotta cut this down.
No worries.
It's been great talking to you,
Mm-hmm,
Austin. We will have you back because you're gonna have more stuff going on.
Absolutely.
More
Always.
projects,
Wheeling
more
and
things to
dealing.
put out there. And even though Kevin's not here, he and I would love to when you guys have a podcast, come on and hang out with
Absolutely.
you guys and
Absolutely.
shoot the shit over there. Brian Kuzma
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for coming on the show and
Thank you for having me.
taking Kevin's big shoes to fill, but you did admirably.
I try my best. We
beautifully,
didn't
all
get to talk about him, but another shout out to
Yeah.
MC Jin.
MC Jin. His
Oh,
album
sure.
just
Anybody
came out.
wants to see his out, go check out his album.
1459, really quickly. MC Jin. You can catch it everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, like everywhere, and just it's amazing.
Guy's been gone for like 10 years, and now he's back, and I
He's
love it.
back.
Like I
He's
want
back.
to.
I like
go
it.
get the album.
This is
I am.
the
So-
most true to who he is right now as possible, and it's hit after hit. And a music video for "Complicated" is coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that. MC Jin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, for Brian Kuzma, Austin Jose, I am Chris Labrum. This was Screaming Goat Radio. We want to thank everybody for listening. We are out of here. See ya.
Thanks for
Peace.
listening to this episode of SGR. Follow the guys at facebook.com/screaminggoatradio and on Twitter at SGRadioLA. You can also check out the show on iTunes. Until next time, herd up.